In the weeks following Order 66 and the rise of the Galactic Empire, the 501st Legion helped to subjugate the planets within the galaxy that refused to submit to Imperial rule. One of these planets was that of New Plympto, within the Core Worlds region of the galaxy. The native population, known as the Nosorians, and former members of the Confederacy of Independent Systems, continued to fight against the Empire after the Clone War. This was done with the help of a Jedi survivor of Order 66 named Das Janir. But while the conquering of New Plympto would have importance for Sidious's goal of bringing all separatist holdouts within the dominion of his empire, the Imperial invasion of New Plympto would also result in Darth Vader discovering that Sidious and the Empire had no problem employing the awful practice of slavery. In this video expose, I will explain how Vader unknowingly made this discovery and describe his reaction to this truth. With the Nosorians, the former allies of the Separatists, resisting Palpatine's new empire, the Emperor sent a brigade of the 501st Legion to New Plympto to deal with the resistance cell and end the fighting there. The arrival of the 501st did exactly that. With far greater firepower, the Nosorian rebels were completely wiped out. As Commander Vil of the 501st recognized, with the fleeing civilian transports about to be dealt with next, the fighting that started roughly 3 years earlier was almost over. This reality deeply worried him, as Vil wondered what would happen to him and his fellow clone troopers when peace was achieved. As the subjugation of New Plympto reached its end, Vader, who was back on Coruscant, was also restless. Obsessed with tracking down and killing the Jedi survivors of the Purge, Vader opened a communication link to Commander Vil. Knowing that the Nosorian rebels were led by the Jedi Janir, Vader inquired if the Jedi was still alive. Vil informed the Sith Lord that there was no sign of the Jedi on New Plympto, and he was certainly not among the dead. As Vader was intrigued by this, Vil then asked if the Empire had a plan for the 501st now that the war was almost over. Vader, having no answers to give, simply told the commander that they would discuss it when the 501st returned to Coruscant. However, there was one problem with that for Vil. As he informed Vader, it was unclear when the brigade would be returning to the Imperial capital, as their troop transports were being used for a different assignment. Specifically, they were transporting all captured civilians on the planet to the slave markets of Orvax 4, so the Empire could profit off their sale. After hearing this from Vil, Vader immediately had a memory of his younger self as Anakin back on Tatooine, and his ambition to one day become a Jedi so that he could return to free all of the slaves. Vader's restless night then turned into one where it was impossible to sleep, unable to think of anything other than the Empire's use of slaves. Not long after, Vader approached Sidious to obtain a new assignment, and hoping to motivate his apprentice, Sidious informed him that it involved the Jedi. However, when Vader said nothing, Sidious recognized that something was wrong with Vader, asking him to explain why he was so troubled. All Vader had to do was mention Commander Vil and New Plympto before Sidious understood the reason for Vader's distress. Interestingly, Sidious apologized for not explaining the situation earlier, recognizing that Anakin Skywalker and his mother had once been slaves themselves. However, the Dark Lord then differentiated between slavery of that kind that went on in the Outer Rim and that which was being endorsed by himself and the Empire. While Sidious confirmed to Vader that he one day wished to end the practice of slavery within the Outer Rim, he explained that what was happening on New Plympto was different. For Sidious, the Nosorian rebels had to be dealt with, and through their being put to work as slaves, they would be able to make a positive contribution to the Empire. Thus, Sidious didn't see what he was doing as trading in the lives of individuals for personal gain. Rather, it was a merciful alternative to what otherwise would be necessary, that being the death of every last civilian. With that, seeing no other explanation being necessary, and not interested in hearing his apprentice's thoughts on the matter, Sidious left Vader alone to ponder the situation, confident that Vader understood and accepted the Empire's use of slaves. So there we have it, how Vader uncovered the Empire's use of slaves and his initial trouble with the practice. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions? Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter @SWReadingClub for updates regarding the channel. or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me, for merciful alternatives.